Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So on day 31 of AWS series, today we are going to see how we can create AWS ECR. And then what we will do basically, we will create a sample Docker image and we will push that Docker image from our local system to ECR. And also we will see how we can create a IAM user and we will attach a policy to that IAM user which we will use to authenticate or access ECR. So let's move to a demonstration part. So this is the steps basically which I am going to follow. So here I have written all the steps. So what I will do, I will put all these commands and steps in a description box. So if you want to do a hands-on, you can do that. So there are some prerequisites which you need before working on ECR. So very first thing, if you're working from your local system, then you should have a Docker installed and running, and you should also install AWS command line interface as well. Then you should have a IAM user with programmatic access with ECR permissions as well. Then you should have access key and secret key, and you should have a ECR container registry created in AWS. So first we will complete this prerequisite part. So I already have a Docker desktop is running on my local system. So to confirm it, so this is the Docker desktop basically which is running in my local system. So the very first prerequisite we already have, and AWS CLI is also installed in my local system. So if you don't have, you can simply search on net and you can download it. Now we will start from a third part, which is IAM user part. So I'll go to my EC2 console. So this is my root account basically. So I'm not going to use my root account because this root account has all the access, like administrator access, I would say full access basically. So what I will do, first I will create a IAM user, and from that IAM user I'll try to access a ECR. So let me quickly go to users and let me create a new user here. So here I will name it test user, and I will provide access to AWS console as well. So here I will set, I want to create a IAM user for programmatic access. So let me select this and let me select a custom password as well. Okay, so let me uncheck this option and let me hit on create. So if I go to my documentation, so we have created a IAM user, but we have not assigned any policies or permissions so this user can perform any task. So what we will do first, I will simply create this normal user and we will try to log in from this particular user account. So this is the console sign in URL for this user account. So let me copy it, and what I will do, I will open another browser and let me search it, open it. So this is my account ID basically. Let me confirm it. Yeah, this is my account ID. You can see the first part. So let me go to my browser here. So here you can see it is automatically taken the account ID. Now I will insert a username which is test user, and I will provide a password. So we are going to work on private ECR. So now this user doesn't have any permissions, it only have access to see the console. So let's load it first. Okay, so let me search here ECR. Or Elastic Container Registry. So let me click on this. So as of now, this user cannot perform any task because of permission. So if I'll give it here, I'm not using any namespace. Let me give a repo name, my repo, And tags, you can two options, mutable and immutable. So this is just demonstration, so I'm going with mutable tags. It means we can override the existing image. So let me hit on create. So you can see, let me click on next, done. So we can see here we got an error. This test user is not authorized to perform create repository task. So what I will do, I will go back to my console here. So let me close this. So what I will do, I will assign the permission to this test user. So I will add here, add permission. And here I will attach a policy. So here I will search for EC2, sorry, EC2. So here we have a Amazon EC2 container registry full access. So this policies we have to assign because we have to create a repository. So if I'll go on the power user part, so here you can see we don't have an action to create a repository. So in that case we need to assign a full permission to this user. Otherwise, if we already have a repository in that registry, sorry, a repository, so in that case you can assign a power user, so this user can perform all this task. So let me assign the permission to create a registry first. So I will click on next and add permissions. So if I go back to my another browser, so let me now hit on create. Okay, so we have to, I think, follow the steps again. So let me do that quickly. Let me refresh it because sometimes these policies take some time to affect. So let me click on new repository, and here if you can see, this is, as I told you in previous video, this parts remains same, the region where your repository is. So actually we will change the region here. I will use Mumbai region. The users which we have created, that is global. So, okay, so here let me give a name, my repo. And yeah, I was telling this part remains same, the only regions and the account ID will be changed as per your AWS account or a region which you are choosing. So let me click on create. So now we can see the repository has been created successfully. Now what we need to do first, we need to use, let me go back to my documentation. So we have completed this part. Now we need an access key and secret key, so we can authenticate to this user from AWS CLI. So for that, let me go to users list. Let me open a users. So here I will go to securities and credential, and if I come down here, we have option called create access key. So I will use a use case command line input interface. Let me select on confirmation and let me click on next. So this I will leave it default, and let me copy the access key. So let me copy it in a notepad. So this is my access key and this is my secret key. Okay, so we have done this part. Now we need to authenticate from the AWS CLI. So if let me open my command prompt. So first what you have to do, you have to authenticate this user ID to access ACR, because if I will directly run the command for ACR, it will not work, because first we need to authorize to AWS. So let me run on AWS configure command. Sorry, the spelling is mistake. Let me clear the screen. Sorry, CLS AWS configure. So it will ask for a key ID. So let me take it, and then it will ask for a password as well. So let me copy it and let me run it. And reason I'm on AP South 1, so it's fine. Okay. So we have authenticated to AWS. Now what we can do, we can run our next command, which is authentication to Docker, ECR. So let me copy this command. So here what we have to do, we have to change. So let me paste it in notepad first. So let me make it in single line. So here we are going to get a authentication token, and username will be AWS, and the account ID will remain same. Okay, so let me quickly verify the URL. So let me go to my AWS console, and let me go to Elastic Container Registry. Okay, let me go to repository. So this is the URL. Let me copy it. So I will just remove the my repo from here because that is not required. So now let me run this particular command. So let me open my command prompt again. So let me increase the test as well. Properties. Let me put 24. Okay, so you can see a login succeeded. Now next what we have to do, let me go to my documentation. So we got the output of login succeeded. It means we are successfully authenticated with AWS ECR. So now let me quickly create a sample Docker file. So let me copy the content, and let me open any folders where we will create. Let me go to any temp folder. Okay, so here basically what I will do, I will create a text file. So here I will name it Dockerfile. So actually we have to, okay, now let me edit it. So this is the sample Docker file which we are going to create. Let me close it. So we have a Docker file. So now next thing what we have to do, let me go to this location from my command prompt. Okay, let me clear the screen as well. So we have a Docker file. Now we need to build our Docker file. For that you should have a Docker desktop running in your local machine. So let me copy this command. So we are going to use image name is myimage. So let me run it. So it start building a Docker file. So now let me go back to what next. Now we need to tag the image for ECR. So for that we need to select our repo and tag as well. So in our case my repository name is my repo, which is in small. Here also we have same. So let me copy this command, and let's wait. Okay, the Docker image has been completed. Sorry, a build has been succeeded. So now let me tag this Docker image, and next we will push our Docker image to our ECR. So for that we have command docker push. So let me run it. Okay, so we can see a Docker image has been pushed successfully. To verify, let me go to my repository and let me open the repository. So here we have an image with the tag latest, and the size is 48.87 MB. So it means we have successfully created a Docker image and we have pushed to our ECR. To verify, we have already seen from the AWS console. Now if you need to pull that Docker image again from a local system, you can run a command docker pull, and you have to provide the complete URL. So if you have to see an image from a local, so for that you have to run docker ECR. Sorry, let me copy the command list image and repo name region, and query as well. So let me just copy this command. So if you want to verify from CLI as well, so you can use this particular command. So we can see our image tag and the image digest. So that's how basically we can create our Docker image, and we can push the Docker image to AWS ECR. So the very important thing here is you have to attach a right policies to the IAM user which you are going to use to authenticate and access ECR. So that is a very important part. You always follow a least privilege concept, but in our case we don't have the repo, so we have to create a repo. For that purpose we have defined a full access. Otherwise you can utilize a power user in most of the cases, like if we are assigning permission to any developers, then power users permission is sufficient, so they can push and pull the Docker images. So I hope it's clear. In case if you have any doubts, you can ping me over comments. So that's all for today. See you in next video. Thank you so much.